It's 5 o'clock in Pirate Country, and it's time to get pumped up with the P-Man. Hit the door and hit the road. 94.3 The Game is going to get you home, and the P-Man's not holding back.
Yes! Yes! Pirates win! Pirates win!
Bring on the Patrick Johnson Show on 94.3 The Game.
Holy mackerel! Oh, my goodness!
The flagship station of the ECU Pirates.
Okay, hello again, everybody. Welcome. Patrick Johnson here with you. It is the Patrick Johnson Show on 94.3 The Game. And we have baseball tonight. East Carolina and NC State getting set to match up. It will be the first meeting of the year between the Pack and the Pirates. The sellout crowd is expected from Clark LeClaire Stadium. We're taking you until quarter till, where the Pirates will be heard on radio tonight with Coach O and Dylan Johnson, 5:45 with the Bud Light pregame. And on ESPN Plus tonight, the incomparable Evan Budrovich and our guest at this time, Mike Mullis, baseball analyst, ESPN Plus, with us on the program. Mully, how are you?
I'm good, buddy. How are you?
Doing great. Mully on his way out to the park for the game. You have a Pirate team coming in off a sweep against Florida Atlantic, and really frustrating three-game set. Pirates didn't play great Friday, got the brakes beat off of them on Saturday, and then saw FAU score consecutive runs in the late innings to knock them off on Sunday. So all told, a losing skid heading into this matchup with NC State tonight. I don't know if we'd call it a must-win, but gosh, it seems important.
Yeah, they all are, PJ, and you know, as you just recapped, the weekend certainly didn't go according to plan for the Pirates. So, you know, a bounce-back opportunity to go out there against NC State, who found a way to kind of miraculously beat UVA in Sunday's game. So they're riding a little bit of a high. So, you know, it is. It's an opportunity, you know, kind of unique to baseball, where baseball offers you the chance to kind of get back out there in the short term and, you know, do it all over again.
Before we get into some of the Pirates' ailments, NC State, this is usually around the time of year they start to crank it up. I don't know if this is a vintage NC State Elliott Avent team in that respect, but they've been a little hot and cold here. Yeah,
I think that's the best descriptor. They've certainly had moments of being really, really good, and they've had moments of not being so good. So I guess there are similarities there, and it seems like we're seeing more and more of that as we see rosters that are kind of patchwork together, and, you know, transfer portal and freshmen and all these different things. So kind of seems like it's been a higher level of inconsistency this year, you know, around the game at whole. But yeah, I mean, you're right. This is a really good NC State team that, with the right combination of guys, has been very successful. It's been more of a depth issue than anything else.
Let me ask you this, Mully. When you look at what you just said about college baseball, there's some bad baseball out there right now.
Yeah, you know, what's funny, or I don't know if funny is the right word, ironic or maybe puzzling, is you look at, you know, obviously, you know, we look at East Carolina and go, man, it's been a while since we've seen an East Carolina team, you know, struggle in the short term or in the recent past, like we've seen this team. And then you look around, Wilmington's down from what they traditionally are, and Elon and VCU, William and Mary, all these teams that have really proud baseball histories. I mean, shoot, Campbell, but, you know, Campbell's, it's not all that long ago that we can remember Campbell, you know, not being what the last 6 or 8 iterations of the Camels were. So it's kind of a weird time when you look around the game and see these teams that have historically had fairly high levels of success trying to find themselves at, you know, at the halfway point of the season.
Mike Mullis is with us here on the Patrick Johnson Show. He'll be in the TV booth tonight for ESPN Plus as ECU takes on NC State in Greenville. Sellout crowd expected. Of course, we'll have the radio coverage for you here on 94.3 The Game with Dylan Johnson and Dr. Gary Overton, Coach O, Philip the Ref Pilkington in the studio providing production and any scores that they need. I know everybody wants to talk from an offensive perspective about Braden Burris and Colby Wallace, but I want to talk about a guy who is really playing well right now, and that is Thamel. And, when you look at him, he's someone that is kind of just all of a sudden Trammell. He started swinging. I won't say he started swinging a hot bat, but it's really started to come together with him, and he has shown the most, to me, raw power of any of the young guys on the roster, any of the young freshmen on the roster. So what has allowed him to be so successful here, especially as of late in your mind?
He was a guy, again, early in the season was kind of penciled in as a starter. We saw him in that opening weekend, and he had his struggles and has now kind of figured it out. I think the numbers bear out. He's far more productive from the left side, so I wouldn't be surprised to see him get more opportunities even in left on left matchups. But he's a guy that has certainly slowed the game down. Started to learn some things about himself and about just kind of how to be a college baseball player. And again, you mentioned Burris earlier, another one that's done the same thing. But Trammell has, you said it best, man. He's got some serious pop, and it's pure raw power. And again, especially from the left side, he hit a couple balls this weekend that that were destroyed. So he definitely has been a bright spot, and quite honestly, probably the best improvement for him is he's come along and made himself into a reasonable left fielder. So he continues to improve, and that's kind of what this Pirate staff has got to be after right now from a coach's standpoint is just trying to get better every day.
Doesn't look like that Riley Johnson's going to be available tonight. In fact, Cliff Godwin has said as much. He doesn't think that Riley will be available this weekend in Charlotte. So that puts a lot on Dixon Williams and Braden Burris in the top of the lineup as table setters. Burris potentially in center field again, and just anywhere in the outfield. He has emerged as a really top-notch player. Stephen Igo asked Cliff Godwin yesterday, given Boucher's struggles, would there be any consideration to make a change at short with Boucher? Burris would be a guy I would think that could maybe slide in there if that were the case. It doesn't seem like there's anything Braden Burris right now can't do. So kind of a two-part question. Burris's play and abilities. He's played shortstop in high school. And do you do something with Boucher just to maybe not tonight, but maybe in one of the games this weekend if he continues to struggle in the field, just to give him a game maybe to kind of take the pressure off and kind of watch things from that perspective?
I'm sure it's something that they've discussed, and they know the roster better than any of us as far as what the comfort level of moving guys around. I personally would be very curious to see Braden Burris get some time on the infield. He was a really good infielder in high school, and that's what he was theoretically brought in here to do. But the Boucher struggles are well documented, and I know obviously, the local kid, and he's trying to make good, and it's just not going his way right this second. But I don't know that. I don't know what the shakeup would be, PJ. I don't know how you would move that lineup around. Quite frankly, I would find it interesting to maybe move Boucher over to first. Mm-hmm. Let Irby catch his breath a little bit. The freshman has basically been out there every day, and it is showing up. He's struggling at the plate, and moreover, some of the errors that are being charged to Boucher, which are throwing errors, no question about it. But we've seen Irby make those plays, earlier in the season. So you kind of wonder where he's at. But maybe Boucher to first, give Irby a spell. Boucher's one of your older guys. He's been through this for a couple of years already. So he should be a little more conditioned to do it mentally. And then, maybe give Burris an opportunity to shortstop at some point in the season. But, again, those are questions that only Coach Godwin and staff can answer. And, there's a theory. Do you make yourself worse at two places? by making a change like that, because Burris has been really, really good in the outfield. So, that will be something to keep an eye on if Boucher, continues to have the defensive struggles.
116th meeting all time between East Carolina and NC State coming up tonight at 6 o'clock at Clark LeClaire Stadium. Pirates won both games last year and piled up a lot of runs in both games, double digits against the Wolfpack. So always a lot of emotion and a lot of excitement when these two meet one another. Colby Wallace has been fantastic, and also we saw Dixon Williams hit a home run on Sunday.
Yeah, Colby's kind of figured it out, and it still ran a little bit cold towards the back end of the weekend, but he excuse me, PJ, Pollen still got me. Colby has started to figure it out, and that has been a positive sign for sure. And it's tough for Dixon. They're just not going to pitch to him if they can help it. They're going to work around him, and he's done a pretty good job of handling that. He did have the home run, but he also hit a few balls hard through the weekend. So, I feel like Dixon just kind of continues to do his thing.
Mike Mullis on the line with us here on the Patrick Johnson Show. It's interesting. Cliff Godwin said on Monday that the pitching prospects, and you could think outside of Friday night, they would be kind of game to game. Who's going to start, how they're going to be handled, etc. The pen has not been a strong suit. This has the makings of a bullpen situation tonight. What are you looking for if you're Austin Knight and Cliff Godwin out of your pitchers to sort of get things on a more consistent plane?
It's the free passes, PJ. The stuff is there. We've talked about it before, and it's kind of a prominent part of every broadcast is just, what are you going to get out of the pen from a strike throwing standpoint? And you're right. I think tonight does probably shape up to be, kind of the old Johnny Holstaff kind of night, probably for both programs. But, it's strikes. It's got to be a more consistent effort. The walks, the hit by pitch, you just can't have them in the notes have had them and be successful. We've seen a case study of that. If you think back to, again, that series with Memphis, although Memphis is kind of struggling, in conference right now, but the Pirates, the bullpen pounded the zone. The starters, turned it over to them in good situations. And, we saw a very game bullpen staff in that series. So, we know what's in there. It's a matter of the consistency.
Mike was hearing this weekend that Sutton for Memphis, their great catcher, and also their center fielder are banged up. So, a team that already record-wise bottom of the league, you take away a couple of their better players, and that makes it tough. With that said, the American FAU, were you surprised Florida Atlantic came in and handled East Carolina like they did?
Yeah, I don't think anybody in the world would have anticipated that run rule game on Saturday. The other games, I thought those would be the kind of games we would see that could kind of go either way. I do think FAU is a good club. They're not overly athletic. Their issue had been coming into the weekend, closing out games when they had an opportunity to get a win. They had struggled some defensively, which I don't know that the Pirates put enough pressure on them in that aspect to give them a chance to move balls around. But I felt like they were mostly matched. I think the class of the league, PJ, is probably, that UTSA club has got it going, and they're a scrappy lot. And you go UTSA, USF, and then East Carolina's going into a really interesting series this weekend with UNC Charlotte.
Yeah.
And Charlotte's Friday night guy on the mound, Gillespie, has been really good for them. As a matter of fact, the weekend that Norby had his big weekend, that was the conference opener weekend, Gillespie kind of matched him, threw a no-hitter, and I think had 15 or 16 strikeouts himself and forced him into sharing, co-pitcher of the week in the conference. So I think this weekend is huge. Obviously tonight's you want to beat State, but in the reality, I think we're getting close to looking at the situation that, the Pirates need to take care of business in the conference and hope that they can do well enough that that'll punch their ticket to the postseason, be it the regular season or the conference tournament.
Out of the weekend, Charlotte has won 7 of 8, so we'll see if what that looks like going into this upcoming weekend with East Carolina coming to town. And they're going to be fired up to beat the Pirates. Now, Norby Gillespie ought to be an intriguing pitching matchup.
You would think so, but, man, we were all hyped up about Norby and Beard, and, Norby just kind of had some struggles to really keep up his end of the deal. But, listen, I fully expect Ethan Norby to bounce back and be just fine. I don't think there's any, he just had a bad day. He just had an off day. We had seen, he had set such a high watermark with the outing against Memphis that, if we thought that was going to be the norm, then that's our problem as a fan base. But we've seen a little bit of a tell-off with him just as the season wears on. But I think that'll be enough to get him kind of refocused and back at it at a high level. But you're right, that Norby Gillespie matchup might be the best one in the conference this weekend.
They also got Cody Gunderson, who is behind Dewar and Braden Burris in batting average, so he's one of the hitting stars for Charlotte's shown a little bit of pop too for the Niners. If you had to say right now, Mike, if going into the latter part of this week we were headed towards a selection situation, how many bids do you think the American would get?
I don't know that there's been enough there to give it any more than 2, and obviously that is impacted by your regular season winner, and then if different, the conference winner. Otherwise, if it holds that those 2 are the same, then I think you may get another team in from the American. But again, still a lot to be determined. UTSA has opened a lot of eyes, man, and again USF's playing really well too. So maybe there's enough there. I think the last thing I looked at, the conference had actually moved up as a conference in RPI to like number 6 or 7. So, maybe that gets you to where you could get 2 and potentially even 2 and the tournament winner. I certainly don't think it's any more than that.
Mike Mullis on the line with us here. You have played the position of catcher. You've coached the game. Walker Barron continues to impress. He did get a few innings. Was it against Elon Pilk that he got a little bit of a reprieve?
Yeah, the first 5 innings against Elon were caught by Michael Kalinich.
Yeah. So he started all but one game in that catcher's role, but yet is probably put together the most competitive and quality at-bats consistently of any Pirate, and has done, I think, a very nice job behind the plate defensively.
Yeah, no, he's done a great job behind the plate, and certainly earlier in the season, his his QAB numbers were off the charts. Now, I think we've seen that come back to earth a little bit too, and I don't attribute it to physical fatigue. I think there's some mental fatigue in the position. You got to remember, he's also only a sophomore, and this is his first time catching this number of games. So a lot of guys will be going through that, not only with the Pirates, but all the teams that are playing these younger guys. So Barron has certainly, offensively, man, he's been really, really good most of the year. I look forward to seeing if he can get back into those little higher quality ABs this tonight and going into the weekend.
Yeah, we'll see. It's the Pack and the Pirates tonight from Clark LeClaire Stadium, 6 o'clock first pitch. Mully, what would you say the keys are for the Pirates tonight against the Wolfpack?
It's pretty simple, and it's the key to winning any baseball game. Throw strikes, minimize your errors, and just have quality at bats. And it's really as simple as that, PJ. Now, when you see good pitching and you got a good team across the field from you, they're going to do everything they can to put pressure. But I think that was a big thing, man, with FAU. And I used the term on Saturday that, man, it was no question when FAU took the field, they were bringing the fight to the Pirates.
Sure.
They were absolutely the aggressor, and kind of saw that all weekend, but it certainly seemed on Saturday when they had the opportunity to win the series, they smell blood in the water. And so I think the Pirates have to take a page out of that. And think about it. When this team has been good, it's been when they get something going in the early innings and they can really apply the pressure either through the bunt game or, through any different means of kind of pushing the offense. But I think that's the deal, PJ. Take care of the baseball, throw strikes, and again, play your style of offense with some sense of urgency.
Mully, it's going to be a chilly one tonight, so bundle up.
Yeah, it'll be nice and warm in the press box. I know it will be cool out for everybody, but this is always a fun game, and I hope that the fans come out and support the team and stay behind these guys because they're certainly going to need it.
All right, Mike, thanks for the time. We really appreciate it.
No, thank you, buddy. I'll talk to you very soon.
All right, there he goes. Mike Mullis on his way to call the game tonight for ECU and NC State on ESPN+. A timeout, and when we come back, more of the Patrick Johnson Show, and this gets you to the Pirates and Pack edition. It is 94.3 The Game, 94.3thegame.com, and the IBX Media app.
The team of Flatlands Jessup is working overtime to help ensure that Eastern North Carolinians like you get the health insurance help you need this open enrollment period. New legislation passed meaning more people than ever qualify for affordable coverage. Let us help you today.
Are you ready to tackle those yard and garden projects? Come by East Carolina Tractor and Fleet, your local Coyote dealer, and check out their great selection of residential and commercial Coyote tractors. From zero-turn mowers to compact tractors to skid steer loaders, they've got you covered. Some with 0% financing for qualified buyers. Stop by your hometown Coyote dealer, East Carolina Tractor and Fleet, across from the Pitt County Fairgrounds, or online at ectfleet.com. East Carolina Tractor and Fleet. We dig dirt.
Big tax credits are back. Get a 30% tax credit, up to $2,000 off your new Mitsubishi electric heat pump install. Let Comfort Master help you take advantage of the tax credits with a qualifying Mitsubishi electric ducted heat pump or non-ducted Mitsubishi electric mini splits. Mitsubishi electric mini splits are ideal for bonus rooms, garages, or sunrooms. If you need a new HVAC unit, call Comfort Master today.
Call Comfort Master. Call Comfort Master.
The best burgers around. Everyone loves a thick, juicy, and fresh burger. Tiebreakers in Greenville, plus the all-new Tiebreakers in Winterville. Do real burgers better than anybody. So don't just go to any burger-themed restaurant chain. It's time to break the chain and eat local. Tiebreakers, real burgers at its best.
Everybody loves burgers.
You know what the problem is with standard belts? Usually you have to choose between too tight or the opposite, too loose. But with Anson Belt and Buckle, you don't have to choose. We got rid of the holes and instead have a track system designed for micro-adjustability. That way you can enjoy a perfect fit every time. Anson Belt and Buckle. Find your perfect fit today.
Healthwise Pharmacy rounds the bases with all of your infusion, retail, compounding, and medical equipment needs. Locally owned and operated by pharmacist Marcy Parker, Healthwise has grown to be your most trusted provider for infusion services. Currently providing in-home or on-site infusions in North Carolina, South Carolina, and Virginia. Visit Healthwise Pharmacy at 615B South Memorial Drive or call 252-295-0059 to speak to a patient service representative to find the option that best suits your needs.
Tired of the 1-800 numbers advertising Medicare products? Flatlands Jessup has 6 offices all throughout Eastern North Carolina. You get face-to-face help from our local award-winning licensed team. Stop by today. Flatlands Jessup, your whole world covered.
Download the new IBX Media app now and get the show for your ears and eyes.
Doesn't it look great on me?
This is the Patrick Johnson Show on 94.3 The Game.
Coming up tomorrow on the Patrick Johnson Show, Brian Mull will be with us. He, of course, golf writer extraordinaire, and he will participate in our Masters Pick'em. We're doing a Masters draft tomorrow, aren't we?
That's what I've been told.
You, me, and Mull. I think it's what's going to be. I think it's going to be you and me, and Mull.
Sounds good.
Which is fine. So do we pick 4 or do we pick 5?
You want to have an even number when you do a snake draft.
Okay.
So you go 4 or
I
6.
say 4.
Okay.
Then we don't belabor any points. I don't know. Did you do 6, though?
There's only 3 of us. I don't see anything wrong with doing 6.
All right. Will you coordinate this with Mull?
Yeah.
That's Philip Pilkington.
I got to work tonight. I got to work this baseball game, man.
You got to do something while it's on.
Yeah, watch the Red Sox play.
And study your draft for tomorrow.
You coordinate with Mull. I'll study for my draft.
Why don't you I've got to get up again early, like at 3, to get ready for.
You're hosting now.
Come on. In the big chair. I don't even know what day it is. The Florida Gators won last night. A game that, Pilk, this is interesting. In the national semifinals, in the last night's finals, the team leading at the under 4 media timeout lost all 3 games.
Good basketball. Or bad at holding leads. Not sure which one to say.
I think good basketball.
I think so.
I think on the whole you had momentum. That's what you want. Exciting games late. Gators had a lot of games where they, we talked about what Houston did the other night in coming back against Duke. Gators had to come back in 4 games. The last 4 they played, really.
Yeah. Especially that Texas Tech game in the regional final. But they faced a tough Maryland team in the Sweet 16. Had to do some coming back there. Obviously, Texas Tech. UConn.
And Auburn, and, of course, last night. They are on top of the college basketball mountain, 65-63. Walter Clayton says it was a team effort because he was terrible last night.
This is an exclamation mark on the year, and it's just great to win like that, knowing the fact that we just a brotherhood together, and we just been picking each other up all year.
He was named the Final Four's most outstanding player, which he probably should have been. Todd Golden says his team never showed panic despite being down double figures.
When we went down 12 in the second half, we stayed the course. We didn't point fingers. We didn't try to start making hero plays. We didn't start gambling defensively, and we got rewarded because of that toughness that we displayed.
There you go. If there was a team that maybe could have out-toughed Houston, Florida would have been the team, it would seem like. Kelvin Sampson on the heartbreaking loss.
2 great teams, 2 tough teams. We lost by 2 points. They made a one more play than we did tonight.
Tough play at the end with L.J. Cryer, but he says the Cougars should be proud.
Made it our way to the last game, so, it didn't end the way we wanted to, but.
So there you go, Pilk. Interesting game with Florida coming back in the second half when it looked like that Houston was going to kind of bully their way to a victory. To me, again, I think this sort of solidifies the SEC right now as the premier basketball conference.
I think so. Obviously, Florida is not one of the new teams. They're not Kentucky, but this was their 4th national championship game appearance since 2000. But they haven't been as good of late. They hadn't been to the second round the second weekend, since 2017. And, Bolden comes in there, only his 3rd year at the program, same amount of time that Shire's been at Duke, and goes out there. They win. They won the regular season, yeah. And Auburn won the conference tournament.
No, they won the conference tournament.
Okay, and Auburn won the regular season.
Yeah.
That's right. So you go out there, you win the conference tournament, and look, they had to do it like you said in come from behind fashion. And that speaks to the fact that they didn't just go out there and dominate. They're a tough, battle-tested team, and tough, battle-tested teams come from good conferences. It's the reason Gonzaga never won a national championship in all their years of being great, because they were out there beating, some random school from California
San Diego.
by 70 in the regular season.
Not San Diego State, San Diego.
Yeah, not the Aztecs that have been in the Final Four in the last 3 years. No, it proves the SEC, are they the best basketball conference? No, they're the best conference. Football, basketball, baseball. The 3 sports that, people are heavily involved in, they are the best.
Some other news and notes. ECU had a couple players out of softball. By the way, softball's playing tonight, top of the hour at UNC.
It's tomorrow.
No, it's tonight, isn't it? Or is it tomorrow?
Anyways, the honorable mention for say what you were about to say about Kendall and Annie Kate.
Check that. Annie Kate Dalton got a all-conference or got a conference honorable mention nod this week, which to me she richly deserved. Was knocking the cover off the ball. Frost, and I'm not saying Frost does not deserve it, but Frost got honorable mention as well from the pitching standpoint. And that's good to see, don't get me wrong. But she did not pitch terribly well in her start on Sunday, but ended up getting the save. But look, the way that conference kind of decides those things in all the sports, especially the diamond sports, especially the female sports, take what you can get.
Yeah. And tomorrow.
It is tomorrow?
Softball's at Carolina.
Okay.
And remember, lacrosse hosts Carolina tomorrow at 6 o'clock as well.
Okay. So all of that's going on. So I misspoke on that earlier. It's okay. It's fine. It's fine. Pilkey, you have ready for an update for us? All right.
Let's do it.
Philip the Ref Pilkington with a 94-3 The Game sports update and Pirate report. And then we will come back and get you ready for baseball as ECU and NC State get set to battle here tonight.
Thank you, P-Man. As Patrick just mentioned, ECU NC State, 5:45 airtime. It'll be just after 6 o'clock, first pitch inside Clark LeClaire Stadium. This will begin a big week for the Pirates in which they play all in-state opponents as they will travel to Charlotte over the weekend. As we just mentioned, Annie Kate Dalton and Kendall Frost both getting all-conference honorable mention this past week for the Pirates on the softball diamond. They will be in Chapel Hill tomorrow at 6. Last night, Florida won their third national championship by defeating the Houston Cougars by just 2 points. The way to early top 25 rankings are already out. Houston is on top of the country at 1, followed by Purdue, Louisville, UConn, Michigan, Kentucky, Arkansas, Duke, St. John's, and UCLA wrap out the top 10. North Carolina did sneak in at number 25. The Canes will be in action tonight as they travel up to Buffalo to take on the Sabres. The Canes are not technically locked into the 2 seed in the Met, but for all intents and purposes will be the 2 seed in the Metropolitan Division. And the Hornets are at home tonight against the Memphis Grizzlies as they are playing for pride at this point, or playing for a better chance at winning the NBA lottery and getting to draft Cooper Flag. So that'll do it for your 94.3 The Game Sports Flash Update and Pirate Report. We're going to take a time out here on the Patrick Johnson Show. We'll be back to wrap it up right after this.
Hey, it's Jim Wells again with Wells Roofing and Gutters here in the beautiful community of Lindale, Bedford. At Wells Roofing and Gutters, we believe in quality first, and that's why we use CertainTeed shingles, which are manufactured in Oxford, North Carolina, a local company. In the event you ever do have a claim or a problem with your roof system, they're local and they come and take care of us in a timely manner. We could leave off some accessories and we could certainly save money, but we believe at Wells Roofing and Gutters in installing the correct way per manufacturer requirements, and we warranty your roof both in-house and also with our supplier, who is CertainTeed. For a job Wells done, no shortcuts taken, and a good quality job on your home, give us a call today, 252-227-8403. We also offer financing, 12 months, no interest, no payments.
This is about you, your family, and the health of all who live in Eastern North Carolina. This is about the transformation of a health system into something more powerful and more human, about creating new ways to treat disease and keep you well. This is about ECU Health, which is to say, it's really all about you. ECU Health. Minds, hearts, purpose.
You have a choice when you invest in insurance, and when you choose First State Insurance Advisors, you're working with people you can trust. Clark Stallings has deep ties in the community. His team, including Keaton Smith, Regina Asby, Phil Leva, Max Joyner Jr., Max Joyner III, and Ginger Smith, provides knowledgeable and professional advice. First State Insurance Advisors is an independent insurance agency. They offer all types of personal insurance as well as various types for business. Call or email First State Insurance Advisors today. We want to be your trusted choice agency.
Other restaurants claim their food is fresh and fast, but are they friendly? At Moore's, you're treated like family the minute you walk into their doors. With locations in Winterville, New Bern, Swansboro, Morehead City, and Jacksonville. We've been practicing what we preach since 1945. At Moore's, our barbecue is slow cooked and smoked over real wood daily until it's so tender it's falling off the bone. Combined with our fresh chicken, cooked-to-order seafood, and homemade fixins, we're sure you'll agree. If it's not Moore's, it's less.
And now,
the stunning conclusion of the show. It's the P-Man here on 94.3 The Game.
I don't know if I would take Ludberg because he's the best young player, right?
I think so right now, yeah.
But young guys don't win in Augusta typically.
No, not at all.
Yeah. Might let Maul have that one.
You're staying away from him, staying away from Batia.
Yeah. Although Batia's a lefty.
Yeah. Pretty good iron player, too.
Yeah. Since we're going to go 6 deep, I would take a flyer on one of those guys. Like it's a big flyer. You're taking on one of them.
I mean, I think one of the, somebody, whether it be one of them, Straka, somebody like that's going to sneak into the top 10.
Always happens.
It's a matter of who. You got to get him right.
As of this afternoon, the Nuggets have fired Michael Malone, which is surprising. Just won an NBA championship season before last. The Nuggets are on a losing skid, but coming into play either last night or the night before, Pilk, they were very much in the race for the third or fourth spot in the West.
Yeah, so right now they are in fourth. They are a game and a half behind the Lakers for third. Now, the tough thing is they're only a half a game clear of Memphis for eighth.
That's how tight it is.
Yeah, you could very easily be in a play-in game quickly. However, like you said, yeah, they've lost a few. Can't hold on to my phone here. Sorry, guys. They've lost 4 in a row, but Murray's been hurt. And in an 82-game season, I say law of averages say you're probably going to lose 4 in a row.
You're going to have a 4-game losing streak unless you're the 86 Celtics or the Warriors that won 73 or
the Bulls that won 72.
Right.
I mean, but this is such a weird time. I mean, this West, I think, is going to be a very exciting Western Conference
And Memphis
playoff.
just got rid of their guy.
Yeah, what, 2 weeks ago?
Yeah.
2.5 weeks ago?
Brennan Lorient, remember him from North Texas? He's transferring to West Virginia. Going to follow Ross Hodge there. So the Mean Green lose a key forward in their lineup. Shamir Sanders, Pilk. Is he going to the Giants? Seems like he's starting to fall a little bit.
Yeah.
The old school GMs probably don't want to put up with the Shamir circus.
Shador,
circus.
I mean, of course, the GMs don't have to put up with it every day. The coach does.
Well, the GM's the one that's got to make the decision.
Yeah. I just don't think there's a quarterback in this draft that's worth taking number 1. I really don't. I think there's a lot of guys who, somebody's going to emerge, right? But there's a lot of guys who look like they're
draft a
pushing
quarterback.
purgatory.
You got to draft a quarterback.
But plenty of teams have the number 1 pick and not draft a quarterback.
Cam Ward to Tennessee, though, right?
That's so far down.
Would you take Travis Hunter if you were the Browns?
What are the Browns? I got to look at the order here. I don't have the order in front of me.
Tennessee's first.
Oh,
so
Tennessee's
Cam Ward going to Tennessee.
I don't know, man. I'd take Abdul Carter.
Well, that's you, Pilk.
Get a stud rusher. I was wanting him to go to the Panthers in November, then all of a sudden he balled out in the college football playoff.
Yeah.
But I still, like I said, I don't think Cam Ward's good enough to go 1.
You're going to take a quarterback 1.
They probably are.
They will take Hunter, and they will play him on both sides of the ball. That's my bold hot take prediction.
And that's fine, but is it good enough to be I mean, it's great that you got a guy who can play two ways.
You got to have something to draw an audience if you're the Browns.
It's the Browns sell out, man. They can go 0-16.
I'm talking about on television.
They play at 1 o'clock. Everybody's going to watch their own team.
They'll get a couple national games.
I mean, everybody does. But
right. You got to have
NFL
a reason to watch
fans are
them.
going to watch NFL.
Well, people that are betting on it. Let's see.
The degenerates bet on every game. What does it matter? Who plays for
Shadir to the Saints in this latest mock. Jalen Walker, the Georgia linebacker, to your Carolina Panthers.
I'll take it. Build that defense, boys.
Anything else interesting Marion Hampton to the Cowboys? I like it.
When did the I don't have the draft for him.
Cowboys, it's 15 days away. Come on, Bill. Cowboys draft.
We just finished the NCAA tournament.
Cowboys draft 12th.
Okay.
Cowboys draft 12th. Boy, there are not a whole lot of quarterbacks in this thing, are there?
No, there are no good ones.
There are not. There are not indeed.
This is gonna be one of those situations where one guy emerges out of this draft at quarterback. He's like a 3rd round pick. Some guy nobody thought was gonna be worth a damn.
And he's going to end up being the guy who's going to be considered the best quarterback.
Yeah.
Jalen Milroe, it was reported yesterday, is going to the green room. Will he be sitting in the green room at the end of night 1?
Yeah.
Why do that to yourself?
I don't know, man.
Why do that to yourself?
I wish Savone was going, but I understand why he's not.
Yeah. Hey, thanks to Mike Mullis. Pirate Baseball coming up in a few minutes as they host NC State. Back tomorrow with our Masters and Masters Draft, Masters Preview, and we will obviously have fallout and analysis from the baseball game tonight. Have a good evening, everybody.